Radio D Hotties, the best and hottest Indian radio network in the entire world.
Mahima Creations
Proudly presents Premier Evening Drive Time Show. Bam Bam!
Yes, you heard it right.
Bam Bam! Every
Monday,
Tuesday,
Wednesday,
Thursday,
Friday. Let's beat the traffic.
Bam Bam!
Bam bam. Namaskar.
Namaste.
Namaskara.
Vanakkam.
Khushamadi.
Assalamu alaikum.
Sat Shri Akal.
మీకు అందరికీ వందనము.
Jai Swami Narayan.
जय श्री कृष्ण.
Jai Janindra.
हमारे स्माइल भाई बंधुओं को स्माइल करते हुए याली मदद.
मोलाली मतलब बोलते हैं सारे फीजी मतलब बोला कि सांबला बलजान हम आ गए हैं आपके प्यारे महिमा के द्वारा मैं से फालतू बाबा.
And of course, myself, Faltu Rani, लेकर आपके लिए एक और drive time show that's gonna make it totally loony moony and mustardi budjan.
That's true, but I was oh my god, what do you mean loony moony? अरे देखते जाओ बलजन, चंद्रयान जैसे ही चांद पे पहुंचा, हम चांद से बाहर पहुंच गए.
नहीं,
मतलब हम चांद के ऊपर ही ज्यादा काम कर रहे हैं. We're doing a lot of research on this. In fact, Faltu Rani has done some extensive research.
कुछ extensive research नहीं, आलतू बाबा
so
मेरे पे पूरा ढापने की कोशिश,
मेरे को पूरा
ऐसे
you're such a humble potato यार, seriously यार.
Whatever
यार. I think really whatever you have done so far is very nice. I think it's very true. In fact, I've always thought about this. Why moon sane and why not insane?
Moon said, no moon insane. Is that that's the theme he came up with today, Balajan. He said, moon said, no moon insane. It's actually ulta.
I know, but why moon sane?
When it is full moon sane.
My question is why moon is sane when it's supposed to be insane? My question is that Faltu, why do we say moon sane and not moon insane?
That is the mystery on mystery moon days, Balajan.
That's true. I forgot to change that thing as Mondays to Moon days. But definitely, I've got to make this. You just take a look at this. And yes, you will wonder today. You also wonder, like, oh my God, what is this? What is this? What is this? Well, actually, this is something which has been going on in our culture quite some time. Kafi arson se, they've been actually talking about the moon and its effect on people. And we are going to explore further as to what it is all about. देखो काफी सारी चीजें हैं जो हम लोग mystery लेके आते हैं ना, काफी सारे mystery हमारे पास, it's like this, mystery is there everywhere.
Yeah, in every single thing. And
there's always a point to wonder.
Yeah.
That's why it's a wonderful world. A world full of wonders. And just to know, and actually speaking further, if somebody says, I know it all, it's such a boring life to lead.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you know everything, what's the point in life? Like if you know anticipate the next chess move, game में क्या रखा है?
Correct.
Right?
Right.
That wonder should be there. And I think that's what the world is giving us, universe is giving us the wonder always.
Exactly.
Wonder. That's why I'm a wonder boy, I suppose. I always keep wondering. Kash, aisa ho to kyun ho? Why is moon sane? Because when you have full moon, you go insane.
Altu Baba.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Namaste to everybody who are joining us on Facebook.
And on YouTube. And thank you so much. I know we missed you too. Many of you were wondering कि कहाँ चले गए हमारे आलतू फालतू. फालतू यहीं पे है बंजन. आलतू पता नहीं कहाँ भटकता रहता है. वो चंद्रयान के साथ ये भी चला गया था वहाँ पे. तो इसका भी फेज चलता है ऐसे moonstruck phases.
Moonstruck phases.
Yeah. He's got not because of love and all. If it was love, he wouldn't be like this.
How is moonstruck phase? What is
they
love?
They say moonstruck is like the loss of ability to act normally or behave normally.
Sometimes happens to watch the look at the mirror. It's definitely sure, but still.
Why, Altu Baba? Oh God. Anyway, so today we are talking about actually, is it true? Actually, agar aap literature padhte ho, then you will know there's a very famous line in actually it's been referenced even in Hindu literature, but I know that in one of the I think it is in Shakespeare's Othello, right? There's a portion where she says one of his उसका नाम क्या है, एमिलिया, जो ओथेलो की मेड होती है, वो आके बोलती है उसको कि the moon has drawn too close to the earth and driven men insane.
There's no doubt.
Yeah, well, basically
Shakespeare, no? All that thing, right?
So she
moon hath come out to the closest to the earth. No, I thought that's what it is. Like you English
is
majors will know about it, no?
Is it full moon today?
I don't know.
Okay, be quiet.
But I'll tell you one thing, Faltani.
Huh.
I totally agree with you. Can you read that Shakespeare statement again?
There is no Shakespeare. I'm just saying there is one portion in Shakespeare where she comes and she tells him. I remember in Othello she tells him.
Ah, you remember that thing?
Yes.
Oh my God, you paid so much attention in school, huh?
Yes.
Ah.
I actually paid attention, and it's also in an
Othello.
article that I was reading.
Othello. Very good, very good.
Yes.
Ah.
So is it true, or is it just some kind of a literary trope?
Well, that's the thing, right? We're trying to see whether that's the mystery behind the whole thing, right?
Huh.
We went to the moon, still we don't know anything about the moon. We went there thinking there'll be water. There's no water yet there. They're not found it. There's traces of water. We believe, हमारे perspective में हमें लगा कि वहाँ पानी रहेगा.
Again, somebody said they found huge.
Okay, human fecal matter, they said.
Yuck!
But that's what they said in our show that day. I don't know, the person, I hope the person can call back and share, because Vibhaji, please call back and give us very from this particular data and what was the fecal matter all about.
Hey, why do we don't need to know all that?
Okay, but still the point is, moon actually, Father, one more thing I should tell you, one more. In the the Greeks actually believed, the Greek philosophy, they believed that actually moon was responsible for people people to go insane, right? They used to, like, how they say madness, right? People used to go mad kind of thing. So this will connect it to the moon a lot.
Correct.
Hence the word lunatic.
Yeah.
Luna means moon.
Wow, Altu Baba. So awesome.
Thank you.
And why have you made me look larger than you? I know I am larger, but like you made me look like I'm some David and Goliath kind of image, and people are asking on Facebook also.
Really?
How is Faltu Rani taller than Altu Baba?
She's taller because she doesn't sit straight. I got to increase the height of her thing anyway.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, you don't sit straight. You always keep moving whenever I try to do something.
I am not. What? I'm not sitting straight. I'm sitting straight. You're the one who's looking shorter. Your camera angle is different.
क्या करे फादर? तेरा तो moon है ना. Closer to the moon now.
Whatever.
Okay, Fatari, we'll fix it. You continue. हाँ, आगे बोल.
Yeah, lunatic. Yeah, अभी यहाँ show पे कोई और lunatic it seems. I don't know what she's writing.
Who's writing?
Deepa Chorapura.
Deepa, today is not full moon. You can't take the excuse. Sorry.
Yeah.
What are you doing, Fatari?
Nothing. I heard myself laugh and it was very nice.
Okay, I brought you down to my level, okay?
Oh, thank you
Happy?
very much. Oh my God.
Whether they say it or not, definitely you will say it.
What? What?
But actually speaking, no, in reality, they're right about it. Whenever I sit over here, I'm taller than you anyways.
No, you're not.
Oh, when you sit down, you're actually taller than me?
Yeah, because I got nice cushioning. Well,
Mamata Prasad is saying lunatic always mooning. Hey, mooning is something else, Babata ji.
That's exactly what I was thinking about, mooning.
Exactly.
You know what mooning means? Well, we'll not go into that. Anyway, here's what we're going to tell you, Banjanki. Today we're going to talk a little bit about whether, this is, for the longest time, people used to believe that, jaise Altu ne bataya, used to believe that people go crazy when, with the phases of the moon and the cycle of the moon. And recently I was reading an article where it talked about how women, the moon supposedly affects women and men very differently.
Ah, definitely, of course.
And they say that the way, like all of us are changing, right? Hamara mood har roz, har moment alag hota hai, right? So apparently women are very much like the moon. Like, 27.8 days, something it takes to come to a full moon kind of thing, right? At that time, with each phase, like you have the waning, waxing, gibbous, and the what do you call that, the crescent moon, and women are like that apparently. Their moods and the way their
women are
personalities.
waxing, sometimes they're not waxing. That's true.
Chappal ka hai re? Seriously,
You said waxing too.
Altu Baba,
What?
then a whole world will moon you right now. Stop. God, what nonsense he talks.
Hey, you said some gibbous something and all, yeah.
Gibbous! It's called a waxing gibbous.
Okay.
Don't you know what that means?
Talking about Eid Ka Chand, there's a shorty right now coming and saying, "What's up, shorty?" on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh.
So today we're going to discuss a little bit about what some scientific research that has gone into this, Manujan, and how it actually, see, for us, this particular, it is a mystery, and we thought that it's important to delve into this mystery because लोग कहते हैं especially neurodiverse individuals में, ये क्योंकि आल्तो और मैं बहुत सारे neurodiverse individuals के साथ काम करते हैं. I mean, we believe that everybody is neurodiverse because each of us, no two people are alike, right?
Yeah. But all alike.
Pam.
Pam, Dipaji, how you doing? That's my speciality, Madhuri. I can make you shut them out immediately. You'll be lost for words with me always. Dipaji, talking about vaccine, बताइए क्या बोल रहे हैं आप?
क्या बोला?
So do you believe in vaccine or no? The vaccine moon. She talked about a bad. She said women are like the moon. Sometimes vaccine like waning.
तो एक तो देखो, एक हफ्ते गायब थे और ऊपर से मुझे किसी और बात के लिए भी तुम पे गुस्सा आया है. तो मैं बाद में प्राइवेट में बात करूंगी.
टॉयलेट में बात करेंगे. क्या बोला आपने?
प्राइवेट में.
प्राइवेट में.
प्राइवेट में क्या बात कर रही
हो? ना मैं किसकी बात कर रही हूँ? लूनेटिक ऑन द शो.
Who lunatic on the? You will refer to me only. Who else?
हाँ, exactly.
I am okay with it. I'm influenced by the moon, of course. Yes. मेरे लाइफ में मून हैज अ ह्यूज
इम्पैक्ट. तो बाबा बहुत दिनों के बाद आते हो ना, तो क्या बोलना चाहिए पता ही नहीं चलता.
नहीं मैंने कुछ थे. हेलो, शी सेड women are like the moon, sometimes vaccine, sometimes in vain. So what should I think?
फालतू रानी.
हाँ.
What? Women are like what?
देखो तुम्हारे
something waning, something you said, something waning vaccine.
फालतू रानी बाजू में ये बैठा है ना, थोड़ा ध्यान से अभी.
नहीं दीपा, वो ना मैं जो भी बोलती हूँ ये पता नहीं क्या बकवास करता है.
बकवास क्या? Hello, she called up just now and she's not talking about vaccine. What did I talk about?
Hey, we said vaccine. I said that what are the different phases of the moon? Tell me. There are 14 phases of the moon. Tell me.
Excuse me, how can...
What are the different phases? Now tell me.
Phases of the moon, let me tell you. Let me come to it first. First, let me tell you one thing.
Waste.
It's a spherical object. There's no faces of it.
There are you.
What?
The phases of the moon. That
Cube has faces. Moon doesn't have faces.
वाला फेस नहीं. वो वाला फेस नहीं. She's not talking face. She's saying face. PHASC.
Yes, okay. हाँ.
पहली बात तो ये तुम इंग्लिश सीख के आओ, ठीक है?
हाँ.
हमें सीखना नहीं है, हम भारत के लोग हैं.
सामने इंग्लिश मत बताओ.
हमें नहीं चाहिए. शशि थरूर के सामने क्या बोला आपने?
शशि थरूर के सामने क्या
बोला आपने शशि थरूर के सामने?
नहीं, इसके सामने इंग्लिश बोलना भी बेकार है. समझ में नहीं आता ना इसको.
अरे वो देखो दीपा, अगर तुमने सुना है तो हमने तो लिखने में पढ़ने में स्पेलिंग मिस्टेक करते हैं. लोग समझ सकते हैं. ये समझने में सुनने में भी स्पेलिंग मिस्टेक करते हैं.
Exactly, that's my specialty.
तो
that is my specialty.
आल्तो का बहुत दिनों पहले ही बोला है अमिताभ बच्चन ने कि English is a very funny language, so you have to,
Excuse me, madam. He said English is a very punny language. Pun बहुत है उसमें. अपना pun and उसमें पंडितरी. हाँ pun है ना, pun है उसमें. अपना नुस्खा. हाँ. Hey, by the way, आज का topic is not English, please. Today's topic is mystery moon days.
Yeah.
So it's all about moon saying. Oh, sorry, moon going insane. Wait, if there's moon insane, what does it mean, man?
The first thing when I seriously was like, how about we discuss mystery moon days? What do you think of this? And then he was like, what? And then after some time he says, me likes moon sane, it seems.
No moon insane.
No moon insane, it seems.
That's true.
Oh God.
When she was on top, that's what happened, right? People is not like movies in the 80s if she was not there.
Oh, shush.
Wow.
Altu Baba.
अभी मुद्दे पे है.
No, but actually moon say definitely was waxing and all. So.
Altu Baba.
What? Tell me. हाँ.
Okay.
मुद्दे पे आएंगे अभी.
हाँ, मुद्दे पे आ जाओ. लड़ने में ना दीपा. How man? How do you?
Very much moon, as they say, moon is associated with the emotional health of a human being.
Oh.
And all the beings, in fact, all the beings.
Oh.
तो even बहुत लोगों ने बोला है, and it is scientifically proven also. Even the ocean rises highest during the full moon.
Oh.
So वो टाइम पे ocean के पास नहीं जाने का usually.
Ocean के पास कौन जाता है? हम लोग बीच के पास जाते हैं ना. Ocean base देता नहीं है फालतू
दीपा तू वहाँ से माउंटेन हाउस से I'm telling you she will
मैं
take
सच्ची में आ
she
जाऊंगी
will
अभी।
take a moon craft and come all the way, or she'll practice witchcraft and make sure you get tal.
हाँ।
I'll be surprised
नहीं,
you already
इसका ना
answer.
सच्ची में मून हमारा गया ना इंडिया से
गया
चंद्रयान,
क्या गया बता
उसको
बता.
बिठा के भेज देना था इसको
Faltrani, I'll tell you, Faltrani, one thing, she has no right to talk right now because she didn't come for the show.
What show?
Chandrayaan show कहाँ पे आई
What
वो?
show?
We were celebrating Chandrayaan, right?
ए रहने वो
हाँ।
मेरे बर्थडे के लिए भी नहीं आई.
Ah.
हाँ
हाँ
हाँ.
Oh
मुझे
my
पता है
God.
मैं कैसे आती
हाँ देखा
क्या?
आलतू बाबा.
Hey, I don't know the
बाबा की गलती
your
है, आलतू बाबा
आलतू बाबा गलती नहीं है.
बोलते
Sorry,
हो,
the whole
मुझे
gift.
एक बार
One
inform
second
नहीं
रुको,
किया
one
बारे
second, एक मिनट रुको. आपकी दोस्त है ना जो आपकी जो खास
हाँ,
दोस्त
तो?
है जो मून के
हेलो,
अभी सुन
you
रही
are
है
also
सुन
my
रही
friend.
है. विभा जी आपने उनको इंक्लूड नहीं किया बोल रही हैं.
ओह, अच्छा ठीक है, नेवर माइंड, उसके बारे में छोड़ो अभी. दीपा आप बोल रहे हो
Let's talk about the moon.
you think that
थिंक नहीं है साइंटिफिकली
She knows,
प्रूवन
she
है
says.
पता नहीं
अच्छा.
एंड इफ वी डोंट या इट इज द साइकिल इट्स करेक्ट हो जाता है वो, मतलब वो 15 days व्हाटएवर हैपेंस ना it's all associated. Ocean waves change and even human emotions change, all those things happen. And scientific even earth pe like it is associated with forest and other stuff also. Yes.
but दीपा that particular जो historically वो जो treatise थी जो सोचते थे कि the gravitational pull of the moon, especially on a full moon, and how it affects the waves, that's what causes it in human beings and across the board, that was actually debunked. They said that really does not affect in terms of human bodies mein, at least in human beings, that it really doesn't affect. But there is something
no, it
else.
is not debunked. I tell you why.
हाँ.
कितना पता है कितना % of our body is water?
70%.
Yes, exactly. That is exactly the reason we associate ourselves with moon activities also.
That's what they say. But then I read through like 6 articles today. All of them say that is a popular myth, that people think it's because of the gravitational pull and it's affecting the because we are made of 70% of water. It's not necessarily that. What they're saying is it's something called circadian rhythm that gets affected, which is basically based on our exposure to the light, and especially on the full moon during that time, and a certain what do you call emissions or radiations that are released apparently. It actually comes into the atmosphere, and then it comes into the Earth's atmosphere, supposedly they say, and that actually affects
The mood.
No, it affects all kinds of living beings. In fact, the coral reef jo hai, uspe it seems during a full moon, all of the corals during this one particular time, they all the thing release sperm, and the same time the ovaries, what do you call, the eggs are also released at the same time for the highest chance of fertilization on a particular full moon. And they see that the maximum number of
then what else, what more proof you need, Faltrani?
But I tell you, the thing is,
it is all connected, kyunki you not only all kinds of beings are affected by it, and we are staying on earth because of the gravitational pull, kyunki that's why we stand on it and we live on it, right? So it is all interconnected.
oh my God, the way you say it, like, as I feel like it's a whole big ball of fur
kya
connected to each other, no?
ball of fur?
Yeah, have you seen a ball of fur?
No.
Everything connected to each other. It's like, total mesh of everything.
When have you seen
Hey,
a ball of fur?
but one thing of Deepa, I want to tell you one thing. I think they debunked the concept of the moon having impact on gravitational pull on water.
Huh?
Yes, it was debunked.
How?
Yeah. If that was the case, Chandrayaan would have gone during full moon day.
Excuse me?
The gravitational pull is more, no?
Oh my God.
They'll save fuel. But they went from the south.
It won't be a full moon day, full moon night.
Even the howling of the मतलब कुत्ते भी उस दिन ज्यादा भोंकते हैं.
किसने बोला ऐसा? Hello, ऐसा, but come on, this is all not scientific at all.
Eh?
Dogs don't howl on the time of full moon.
It's not
It's
dogs.
a myth.
But they say that they show that werewolves thing. No,
No, it's not werewolf. I'll tell you one thing. You know,
It is all
since you
connected
believe in
also,
science,
Baba.
Deepa, you're
Just because I'm not able to put them in the right, but
Hey,
I
Rukna.
have read.
Deepa, one thing I'm going to tell something supporting your thing. Because you're a scientist, you'll understand this. You know why things happen at night time? Why that particular coral leaf also get into all the kind of mood at that time?
oh, you better not come up with some Bollywood nonsense.
Not Bollywood nonsense theory. I'm telling you seriously. Night time it's very dark. Moon give light. Sun, when there's sunlight, there's got to be too much of heat. All the organisms die. But moon will give enough filtered rays of sun, so they enough time to see everything and move around. No, they can actually connect at that time. That's what it is all
Oh
about.
my God! It has nothing to do.
Yeah,
with
and full moon day, what happens is wolves come out to hunt because it's easy for them to see the
They
prey.
do have. I mean, yeah, full moon also has the certain effect on nocturnal creatures.
Ah, see?
It's all related. It's all connected.
Nocturnal
So,
creature. Well, let me ask one
uh-huh.
creature. Let me ask one nocturnal creature over here. Falfari, does it affect you?
Yes, it does. Actually, you know, think about
it
it.
does to me too. हम दोनों बात करते रहते हैं.
Huh.
Oh my God, Deepa, you also?
No, but Deepa, this is true. Actually, it is documented data that people during the full moon cycle, especially when it's reaching a full moon, right? People
Yes.
sleep across the globe,
Oh.
sleep 1% lesser during those times, and it actually
Wow.
it does affect your REM sleep. This is mainly because of exposure to light. Apparently, even if you close all your blinds and sleep also, it's supposedly the exposure to light, because it affects even during the evening hours and whenever the moon is coming out and all that, those emissions and rays that we were talking about. So scientifically it is proven that it actually affects the circadian rhythm. And for women, the reason that they say that it affects men and women differently is, for women it supposedly affects even our reproductive health.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, and they say that even all animals also across the board, in the animal kingdom too, and even in general flora fauna too, moon actually affects the reproductive health of all these living organisms, huh?
So there's some really scientific statements coming up on Facebook, Deepa. Go see it.
What is it?
But Mamta Prasad is saying Altuma gets affected by the moon, whether it's full moon or night or day, it seems. That's true, Mamtaji. I get affected by moon so frequently.
That's
But
because
there is
because he sees the moon every day.
Yeah. I don't know what are you guys talking about. तुम लोग ना मुंह
Deepa's
को
like,
कहीं और लेके जा रहे हो.
Deepa's
किसी और
wonderful. Deepa's
galaxy में
wonderful.
लेके जा रहे हो.
Deepa's very wonderful. Deepa's like, he doesn't see me every day. आपकी बात नहीं कर रहे. मालूम है आप चांद का टुकड़ा हो. यहाँ पे पूरा चांद बैठा है.
हाँ. कुछ भी.
Shorty,
thank God, मुझे ऐसा नहीं बोला कि तू वो चांद पे ही है, क्योंकि इतनी दूर है.
Okay.
नहीं आप चांद पे नहीं हो, अभी पास में, इसीलिए बोलते हैं कि आप आ सकते हो. चांद पे होगे तो आ नहीं पाओगे यहाँ पे.
Yeah.
बिकॉज ग्रेविटेशनल पुल ऑफ द अर्थ नहीं है ना वहाँ पे. ग्रेविटेशनल पुल ऑफ द मून है. अच्छा, by the way, so the point is, okay, Father, on a serious note, there is, you said documented proof बोला तूने.
Yes.
Documented proof can be written down somewhere, writes down, becomes documented proof.
Well,
But there's
there is
scientific
one
evidence.
Okay, what is it?
There
one
is,
video of सदगुरु एक्चुअली,
हाँ.
जिसमें उन्होंने बहुत अच्छे से एक्सप्लेन किया है इसको.
Huh.
Yeah, with all the scientific facts and everything.
क्या
I
explain
forgot. I saw it like a few years ago.
हाँ.
लेकिन yeah, it's
इतना सब
very
कुछ
well
सुनते हो,
explained.
अमल
And
क्यों नहीं करते हो उसके
it
बारे
was
में?
also studied. पता नहीं.
He talked about-
There is always a
Sadhguru talks
parallel
about-
theory ना, फालतू रानी. आलतू बाबा चुप बैठो ना, मैं बोल रही हूँ.
He talks about इतने चीजें क्या लास्ट की, why did you do it?
For God's sake नहीं बोलूँगी अभी मैं. For moon's sake थोड़ा चुप बैठो.
For moonwood's sake, I'll do it. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so
मैं भूल गई, मैं क्या बोल रही थी. Something
I
very important.
I remember what Sadhguru said, and in
Uh-huh.
fact, if you want, Altu Baba, I'll send you that YouTube link. You
Uh-huh.
can play it.
Uh-huh.
But
Why should I
again,
play that? I'm not going to play that. Sorry.
Okay.
Issue they won't pay me for this.
okay, that's fine. So basically, what he said was, and it's kind of true, right? So most of us during the full moon phase we kind of are out of balance, out of sync a little bit. That's why they say practice centering and practice. They say meditate, right, for a
आलतू
reason.
बाबा ये सुनो, practice थोड़ा centering.
हाँ.
ठीक से बैठ.
Deepa, I have better practice of centering for you. If you want to listen to it, I'll tell you.
Oh God.
But the point is, when she listen to the Sadhguru only, she won't listen. She won't amal. She won't practice it. What else should you if I tell her something?
Okay. Will you listen to what I'm saying now?
Of course.
Okay,
Martha.
so what
You
he
know I'm a good listener always.
what he did say was that people become imbalanced, especially those, and this is particularly true of people who already are struggling with, because at the end of the day, look, these are all hormones and enzymes in our body, right? So which is serotonin, oxytocin, these are different things in your body. So many people who suffer from mental health conditions, and when we say suffer, please don't think ये कोई पागल खाने में बंद करने वाले type लोग हैं.
नहीं,
Not
हम
like
कुछ
that.
लोग शो भी करते हैं.
हाँ, शो भी हाँ, जो जिनको जनरलाइज्ड एंजाइटी डिसऑर्डर होता है, जिनको डिप्रेशन होता है, people who have bipolar disorder, you're either on a major high or you're on a really manic low, depressive, manic depressive phases होते हैं जिनके, and people who have split personality disorder, a lot of people encounter those things because there's certain things that cause that cognitive break, right? Isn't that what happens? So so what he says is it's caused because of some imbalance of some chemicals within your body, and what he says is people who are already prone to it, during the full moon it pushes you a certain which way. So if you're somebody who is who has a history of depression or bipolarity or manic tendencies, then it'll push you that way during a full moon phase, unless you are practicing proactively centering and you're practicing to make sure that your body is completely in alignment with the universe. And how do you do that is obviously by centering your Altu.
ए आलतू, मैं नहीं देख सकती वीडियो अभी. तुम ठीक से बैठो.
नहीं बालिके, सॉरी, नहीं माता, आप बस सुनो.
So he says,
आप अपने कान के माध्यम से हमारी ये माता जी जो है यहाँ पे आपको ज्ञान दान दे रही है.
तो ये मून मंडे से जाके माता मंडे हो गया क्या?
ए नहीं यार, तुमने ये सदगुरु के बारे में बात किया. So what he said was,
correct.
If your innate quality is joy, which is basically, if your innate quality is love, compassion, forgiveness, gratitude, then that is what you'll become more joyful. If your innate quality is grief, you become sadder. If your innate quality is anger, you become more angry. So what you practice, what you feed.
तो तुम्हें क्या होता है? What is your innate
hunger.
quality?
My innate quality is hunger. That's why I get hungrier in moonlight whenever there's full moon day.
God.
I eat more that time.
Anyway,
great problems.
Hey, so you said there's scientific data. Turn that off. Tell what the scientific data is. I gave you that article, no?
What article you gave me?
Whatever article.
ये एस्ट्रोनॉमी वाला म्यूजिक डाला है, चलेगा? फालतू नहीं, तू बताओ.
She likes it.
Hey, Altu.
हाँ.
लगा बता ना तू.
नहीं रे. So the thing is, there's been scientific data on whether people actually moods are affected for during full moon days, right? So there's no data correlating to the fact also. There's not even a slight correlation to the connection of mood swings, what they say.
शायद किसी ने उसको नहीं किया experiment.
नहीं, the experiment was done, specifically was done. So when you do research now, right, there has to be conclusion, right?
Yeah.
They have data, they'll have a control group, they'll have all those things, right? So basically they were not able to prove conclusively, even a correlation, even a positive correlation was not able to be drawn to the fact that there is an impact of the full moon on people's moods.
No, Altu Baba.
But there is anecdotal evidence, that's what I'm trying to tell you. The research did not come up with that thing, but anecdotal evidence.
मेरा तो simple फंडा है. देखो, अगर तुम्हें if sunlight and sun is affecting you, then moon and moonlight will affect you.
Okay,
when
that's a different deduction of fact, right?
Well,
there is difference between the two, of course, for sure.
No, what I'm saying is you're going by reference. So your reference and inference you're doing, right? You're trying to infer based on something else, right? So that inference is not scientific.
I'm trying to draw the parallels, क्योंकि both are,
so that is not actually accepted by the scientific community. I'm saying that there is a scientific reasoning to this by in our scriptures, in our culture. मैं वही करने के लिए बोल रहा हूँ आप लोगों को. The scientific evidence, whatever scientific research, we still don't know what the methodology. I didn't read the methodology. I only read the terms of saying that what was the conclusion of the particular article.
No, but there is a study that was conducted by a doctor called Thomas Ware. Okay, and he published a paper where he described, he studied 17 patients who had rapid cycling bipolar disorder. Apparently, this is a form of illness where people switch between depression and mania more quickly than usual.
Okay, something is interesting, I'll tell you, Faltrani, which will
Oh my
definitely.
God.
Which see that-
Faltrani, Aldova.
हाँ.
Can I say something?
हाँ.
मुझे एकदम से ख्याल आया एक.
वाह.
हाँ बोलो.
देखो, Faltrani.
हाँ.
You know, you are saying neurodiverse people get more affected, na?
Right.
हाँ, तो मेरा ये रीजनिंग है फॉर दैट पर्टिकुलर थिंग, क्योंकि those people, neurodiverse kids बोलो, adults बोलो, they are more innocent than the regular people in my view, right? They are not malignated with all these layers of outer life as such. Like education, ये वो जिंदगी की भीड़ भाड़ में वो खोए नहीं है. So they are at the purest form. Maybe that is the reason they are more emotional compared to others, and they tend to stay like that, and that's why they are more affected.
Okay, so here's the thing. So I want to say, I'll debunk two things right now, okay, if you don't mind. Now, this is not me. I will tell this. Have you heard of Neil deGrasse Tyson, the guy who's a physicist, kind of philosopher?
Yeah.
Okay, he has written some very good articles about the effect of moon and everything. Even he talks about this. Now, I talked about anecdotal data and also some data about the fact that in psychology, what they study is not only the behavior of the individual, right, but also the overall, it's called social psychology, right? So in terms of they study what's happening around it and what's the thing behind it, what's the occurrence and everything, right? So they have found a very strong evidence to the fact that there used to be something called as mental asylums. Now it's not there as much, right? There was a study wherein they were tracking in the same study of the impact of the moon, the mental asylum, they have crisis calls, right? Crisis calls, people say, oh my God, this person is coming, take them and go. The admission rates when they made that, so it was actually going back. It's going back in time, nothing like the moment study. So they stumbled upon the thing and they found evidence over the whole thing. Whenever that the number of attendees or amount of crisis situations or crisis things were the most when there was a full moon in that particular vicinity. So this also could be something you might correlate and say, okay, so something is happening there. What is happening? We don't know. We know the effect of it. Effect of the fact that there are people who are probably thinking. And here's one more thing which is there we should understand is, I don't know what Sadhguru said but anything, but in Indian culture, it always said that generally human beings, night time is supposed to sleep. Right? And whenever you're not actually done your Kriya Karam properly, you will get restless. Right? And generally it also has been noted that people on average, when they're reporting that about their sleep and everything, they report that during the time of full moon, they are restless. Which requires them to do some balance activity, like how you said, some kriya they were supposed to do. Probably that's what Sadhguru is talking about also. I don't know, I've never heard that, not read his thing or not seen the video we're talking about, but I would love to learn more about it. But this is something which is noted for sure. The mystery over here is, how is it possible? Because even scientifically, we're not able to correctly pinpoint what's happening. We're only seeing the causation. We're seeing the result of it. We're seeing impact of people. What is the thing happening? We don't know. That's the mystery over here, Deepa. We're trying to get to the point of you yourself going and researching and finding out why is it happening so. Like for instance, there was a concept in our Indian culture. You might
that doesn't mean.
Wait. Let me finish. Let me finish.
That doesn't
let
mean
me
it's
finish.
a mystery, is what I'm trying to say.
Let me finish. It's a mystery.
Going on,
it is a mystery, na. हमें मालूम नहीं
it
तो
is mystery. Of course, it's a mystery, but it's not a myth. Is what
I am not. We didn't say myth at all. I said in our culture, there is a system. If you don't, I don't know how far back you go in your Indian. If you followed your ancestors and everything, there should be a time when women, when they're doing the cycle of life, they're supposed to stay outside the house for a few days. They're supposed to stay outside the house. Nothing to do with the cleanliness part of it. Something to do with the cycles of the moon. And more the cycle of the moon and the women's, the monthly thing which happens, right? More they are in sync, the more they are healthy.
Yeah, that's true. That's what
So
they say.
this
Yeah.
is the cultural thing which is there, which is misconstrued to many people, saying, "Oh, how can that be?" There was a reason why they are supposed to come out and expose themselves to the moonlight, which was there. There was a reason for that thing. People don't. People have forgotten about it and gone further on it. I don't want to talk anything because people start hating on me, saying, you talk as a liberalist, you call yourself a feminist." I am all for it. I'm just saying that probably we don't know. It's a mystery for us. Because it's mysterious for us, we are scared of it.
Right.
We should not fear it, is what I'm trying to say. That's all. Right?
Right. Absolutely.
ठीक है मैं अभी रखती हूँ आलतू बाबा.
Thank you so much, Deepa ji.
Thank you, Deepa. Thank you for calling in. Listen, okay? Watch on the moon days. So, for you to call in, the number is 408-832-8881. कोई आलतू बाबा को कॉल कर रहा है बार
बार कॉल कर रहा है?
हाँ, बार पता नहीं कौन कॉल कर रहा है, but of course you can dial in again and we'll be happy to take your call on the air. Again, 408-832 excuse me, 8881.
Uh-oh.
And हम आपको बता रहे हैं कि today we're talking about the mystery of the effect of the moon on human mood and behavior, Banajan. I was talking about this experiment that was conducted by Dr. Thomas Weir on 17 people, and what he noticed, of course, the thing that was uncannily precise.
Huh?
Yeah, he says these are his words. The thing that struck me about these cycles of people who were having these episodes of illness, where manic and then depressive, manic, depressive. In these people, what he found this pattern that was so precise that one wouldn't necessarily expect that of a biological process. And then he said he was the emeritus professor of psychiatry at the National Institute of Mental Health in Bethesda, Maryland. And he said it led him to wonder if there was some kind of an external influence that was operating on these cycles, and because of the historical belief that moon affects human behavior. The obvious thing to consider was whether there was some lunar influence.
Okay, but there's some lunar influence right now on our phone lines.
Oh, really?
Hello, namaskar. Vibha ji, kaise hain aap?
Pam Altu Baba, Pam Faltu Rani, how are you guys?
Why so serious, Vibha ji?
Pam.
अरे टॉपिक इतना सीरियस है तो फिर सीरियसनेस तो हो ही गया. आलतू बाबा क्यों प्रॉब्लम क्यों क्रिएट कर रहे हो मेरे और मेरे फ्रेंड्स के बीच में?
आपके फ्रेंड्स कौन हैं?
अरे दीपा क्या आग लगा रहे हो आप?
नहीं मैंने क्या लगा, आपने इंक्लूड नहीं किया उनको. Now we lost the words, right? You don't have lost. You're the person who created the group. Now she's built things that I created the group.
Dude, the group was created by somebody else.
Who was it? Okay? Who was it? You didn't create the group? Who created the group?
No, I didn't. I didn't create the group. Chalo, anyway.
Who created the group? Don't change the topic now.
Oh God, you're gonna make her.
Yeah, no. Sorry, you are a part of the group. Go and check who created.
I don't know who created the group. I don't know who created the group. I was just the last days when I posted actually.
Phew, I was not part of it.
Chalo,
So
anyways, I don't want trouble. Okay, so anyway, Hanji bolo.
Okay, fine. Doesn't matter. She has forgiven you. She's a very nice person. Don't think bad about Deepa. Deepa is a very nice person.
Deepa is a nice person. That is why.
Why so sarcastic? My God, why? Come on, sarcasm नहीं चलता यहाँ पे यार, please.
Anyway, topic पे बात करते हैं.
Rolling your eyes now. What is this?
हाँ.
Not
Oh
fair.
my God, I'm not.
हाँ. बताओ.
Yeah, so no, it's a very interesting topic, about the moon, and I think we also discussed this a little bit जब हमारा वो moon theme पे हमारा गीत गाता चल हुआ था, but just like we were talking about, या आप लोग बात कर रहे थे, it's actually a proven fact कि हमारी Hindu astrology में I've been told by people who've read our horoscopes and stuff that if an individual is born with and I don't understand a lot of this stuff, but if an individual is born with the moon in their 9th house, then that means that
psycho.
they suffer from no, not psycho. They suffer from mental illness, or they tend to be neurodiverse. So maybe individuals who are on the autism spectrum, or individuals who have ADHD or other similar, जैसे आप बात कर रहे थे, by people with bipolar disorder. तो उन लोगों के जो उनका ninth house होता है हमारी हिंदू एस्ट्रोलॉजी में, the moon is very prominent. But what I've also heard, and I mean, I'm not big into astrology, but what I've heard is that the moon can be in different houses in your horoscope and affect you in certain ways. But if the moon is in your ninth house, then it is like a lifelong thing, So
Oh my
I don't
God.
know how far
Really?
it's true, huh?
Could be true because moon is in my ninth house.
How do you know?
Yeah.
Hey, I don't have one house
You're
properly.
keeping
What
out
did you
to
get
Baba,
nine
be
houses?
serious.
No, seriously.
Do you have a
moon-
horoscope?
I do have a horoscope, literally horrorful.
Really?
Horoscope nahi, horoscope.
My horoscope is horoscope. It is scary.
Yeah, that's
You look
I
at my
don't know about
horoscope.
9,000. I don't have one house, only decently what 9 houses.
But don't you think that concept of the house also is your perspective?
Yeah?
I'm asking her.
वही तो मैं नहीं वही तो मैं कह रही
Now
हूँ
let's say
ना,
you're
I mean,
let's say you're in your first house. Can you see the moon?
Alto Baba,
I'm asking you a
I'm
question.
talking about what? I only have one house. What do you mean first house, ninth house?
Let's say you have those houses, right? The 9 houses you're talking
Yes.
about, astrology wise. So if you're in the first house, you can't see the moon.
नहीं वो ये नहीं कहते. What they say is that, okay, so that term lunar. So lunar is associated with the word that we now use, lunatic, to describe somebody which it's wrongly used, but somebody who is not neurotypical, right? So what I'm saying is that the moon will transition throughout our life in different houses, but it'll like transition, right? Whereas people who are neurodiverse or who are suffering from some form of mental illness will have the moon permanently placed in the ninth house according to Hindu astrology. So I'm not big on Hindu astrology, but this is a little bit that I do know. I mean, I'm sure there are people out there who can verify this.
Oh yeah. There's one person I know who
So-
can definitely verify this for you.
Who?
Deepa.
Who?
Why?
She just said, "Oh, it's not perspective, Baba. It's all properly calculated based on our birth time.
Yeah,
That's
Deepa's
how
right,
Kundali
she's right.
is derived."
Yeah.
That's what
So
she did over there.
no, Deepa's right. That's what I
It's
Oh,
not
now
just-
you're totally worshipping Deepa, eh?
Yeah. Now totally.
Exclude her in the party now.
आग लगा
Later,
दी है ना?
wow.
हाँ, आग लगा दी.
लगता है आपके घर पे ना, आपके नौवा घर पे क्या सूरज है अभी?
मुझे नहीं पता. I told you.
There
I
is
don't
light in your
follow these
ninth
things
house.
closely.
हाँ.
हाँ.
Okay.
पर मैं तब पता, like I will consult somebody only if there's like something really big going on, or I'm very concerned about something. Otherwise, no, I don't believe in knocking on an astrologer's door every time something.
But
Hey, they're
Vibha,
expensive
but
जी.
Vibha, एक चीज मैं सभी से पूछना चाहती हूँ कि
Yes.
सभी कुंडली में बिलीव नहीं करते हैं, and there are many people that I mean, again, we would be getting trapped in dogma if we believe that it's our kundali decides our fate.
Sure.
Right. So I think to a great extent, क्योंकि some kundlis have they'll say, oh, Raj Yog hai isme, oh, Devi Yog hai isme.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
there are people who've said
Yes,
that
yes,
some of the
yes.
I mean, I know, because we all want to know that unknown thing, right?
Correct.
And especially we want to know when we are encountering challenges in life, or when we're encountering things that we don't understand. So
Right.
sometimes you wonder whether they're soothsaying, because there I know of neurodiverse individuals, parents who have come back and said, oh, this is I went and I've checked this out with this astrologer, that astrologer. According to this, the person is supposed to be leading an exceptional quality of life, like is supposed to be whatever, like very, there's nothing in the kundli that says anything, like some people say that people who have short ayu or disability and those kinds of other types of disability, which are physical deformities in the body and all that is indicated through kundlis, is what they say. But then I've also come across people who have said that there's nothing in the kundli. There was the moon in the 9th house, is all that stuff is not really in their kundli, but the individual is non-speaking. And the individual is neurodiverse. How do you explain that? So regardless, astrology वाला show नहीं है. I'm talking about यही लोगों को अगर जो भी house में ये है, wherever it is, एक मून तो राइज होता है, एक पूरा फुल मून आता है, हर महीना उनको एनकाउंटर करना पड़ता है. डजंट मैटर व्हाट मून द हाउस इज इन, आई मीन व्हाट हाउस द मून इज इन, राइट? सो what we are discussing is how does it affect general human behavior and general human moods. कि न्यूरोडिवर्स हो या न्यूरोटिपिकल हो, दीपा जी ने एक बात बताई कि ओके दीज आर प्रॉब्ली इनोसेंट सोल्स and things like that, but again, we don't know. There's a lot that's why it's a mystery.
Yes.
So what science has been able to explain is, according to this particular who did this particular study, what he was able to discern is that it's the exposure to the radiation and exposure to the light which affects their circadian rhythm, supposedly, and affects their sleep cycle. Then he actually went further ahead and he tried to do more research to see, is it just these people who are like this? And then he found out that 1% of our sleep, everybody loses 1% of sleep during a full moon. Across the board, almost every single one of us has some form of reaction. Like Altu Baba said, there's a certain amount of restlessness that comes into play. It's probably due to exposure to the light, exposure to the radiation, exposure to some rays or some emissions that are happening during this particular time that causes this to happen. And I think to a great extent, each of us is a manifestation of energy and vibrations. So in some which way, it probably is affecting those the energies and vibrations that are happening amongst us, because in Altu Baba he talked about a particular जो asylum में उन्होंने notice किया aggressive episodes in people, and also highest number of crime, highest amount of crime happens on full moon nights.
So here's
I
the
have
thing.
a question. I have a question, guys. अब मुझे बताओ, have you noticed even with yourselves, like sometimes maybe there'll be a day or two where you're feeling kind of off, and then at night it's you look out the window and you see a full moon.
So here's the thing. That's a very good question. I always feel I'm off always, and I always look outside. There's a moon. Sometimes it's not there, so we don't know what it is. Mamta right about my thing, I suppose. I always go berserk whether that's daylight or night or moonlight or no light at all. So Amavas ki raat ho ya pura chand ho, I still feel that way. I'm neurodiverse that way, I suppose. But I'll tell you something which is gonna get me in the bad books of people like Deepa and people like Vibha who believe in astrology.
Why? Oh my God! No, that you will never get.
Wait, Altu Baba. One last thing I want to say before you say your thing, and that is, a very wise person. Actually, a few people have told me that astrology is something that it's okay to believe in it, but you should not base your life on stuff that, of course, that astrologers tell you. So what I've been told is that astrology, खास करके जो हम लोगों का ये Hindu astrology है, it's just like a guide map. In other words, if somebody is telling you that कि आपका जो पूरा टेवा है, it is just full of doom and gloom, you don't go with that. You go with, okay, so this person is predicting that there are certain events in my life that may, or certain periods in my life that are not very sound. So what can I do to ensure that, let's say around that time, when that time comes, what can I do to minimize the damage that this person astrologer is predicting? So you don't take it as something that is set in stone. At the end of the day, we do have some control over our fate or destiny, and we should do what we can during those so-called bad times to minimize the negative impact of what may be happening. So anyway,
Yeah.
So today's show is not about astrology. I want to say that to everybody out there. But
Sure.
it's about the moon, an astral object in the in our close vicinity. It is a satellite to the Earth, definitely having some kind of a pull, experiencing a pull of the Earth, the moon itself, right? It's experiencing a certain pull from the Earth that we all know, right? This Earth is holding on to the satellite, correct? And it also has its own gravitational pull. For the question of whether the moon impacts the water levels of the Earth, no, it's not that. It's the Earth water molecules itself which creates the waves. People think because Earth is not 100% sphere, it's like a ellipse. It's like a ellipse.
Yes.
It kind of is fatter at the middle, where the water is the maximum part of it. So that's what actually creates that particular thing. And people say it might be impacted by the Earth also. It can be impacted by the moon as well. But actually, if it's impacted by the moon, it has to be around the same cycle where the moon is going. Right?
Correct.
So the thing is, that's one thing. Okay, now I'll come back to the point of astrology. Just touch upon it and leave it out there. I won't go deeper into it because we used to do a show called Science Behind Science, or the Science Behind Science, which Mahimaji had brought up, and that was a wonderful show which I talked about. And I realized one thing while researching for that show, and also I realized that in my life also, right? What astrology is doing, or Indian astrology, or Jyotish Shastra it's called. It's not astrology. Astrology is something different. It's an American word, or let me rephrase that. It's a Western word on a Eastern practice. That is the study of astrology. Astrology is loving the study of so planets and everything, right? But no, we are Jyotish Shastra. Okay. Now the point is over here to understand one thing is there is acceptance in our culture which we don't know about it. Many of us don't know about it. That the world is run by some principles. This is something which is very interesting to understand that in all Eastern philosophies, may it be Confucianism or could be Taoism, or could be even for the fact of Buddhism, or the so-called Hinduism, which I call as Sanatana Dharma, right? They all believe of something which is a universal fact, universal thing, which sometimes we also call Dharma. You have to be dharmic. Dharmic is not about, sari pehno, ghungat. No, it's not that. Dharmic is about understanding. No, understanding how the universe works.
Sure.
Now, astrology, whenever you go to them, they'll give you something called as parihar, right?
Okay.
That is to tell you, hey, you're wavering, come back to center yourself. It's all about centering yourself, right? How do you center yourself? There's a very important thing to understand over here, that we have the yin and the yang in the universe entirely. That is understood. There is a left side of the brain, right side of the brain. We talked about this when Pranabji also talked about on one of our Bak shows. He said there's left side. So whenever we do practices like Namaste, why do we have to join our hands? There's a saying why we should join our hands when we do Namaste, right? It is about centering yourself. It is a closed loop. It's like, when you keep your hands out, your left side, right side brain is working, right? You still are totally like two different things. The only way you can bring it to a center when you put Padmasana and sit down, or when you do this. जब आप जाते हो मंदिर में जाते हो, you're supposed to go procrastinate. There's a reason for that also.
Not procrastinate.
Prostrate. Prostrate. You got to really stretch your body out, right? That's one thing is that. Now the point is, whenever you actually have imbalance, you got to bring it back. As Falguni talked about, Sadhguru also talked about as balance, imbalance, right? It's about understanding what is the right universe wants you to do. Many times our conflict is we want something because we have an ego we don't want to follow through, but the universe wants something else to happen. If you're mindful enough, you're able to be very, very mindful about what your surrounding is, what yourself is. You will not need the support or the crutch of these things like astrology and other things. You will be able to automatically identify what you need, and that need is something which is defined by the universe for you. I'll tell you one more thing. Neurodiversity you talked about. You talked about people who are, they are pure is what I believe. They know what they need to be done. It is the people around them who cause the problems for them. No, you might snicker at it, but I'm telling you seriously.
No. I'm with you.
So if they want to do something, they'll do something which is going to keep them happy in the moment, and that's done. We are the ones who go, no, conform, no, dress like this, no,
Yes.
don't yell, no,
Yes.
don't. But they know, they are so tuned to the universe, like how animals are, how all the other
Yes.
beings are. They know when to do what automatically comes because the flow is there in them. We are the ones who have broken that flow by
Correct.
separating ourselves from this earth.
Yeah.
We think just
Agreed.
because we're able to walk around, we are better than trees. No, we are not. Just because we can jump one feet high doesn't mean that we're not part of the earth. We should understand that we have. That's what astrology is trying to bring people in. All the kriya karam, whatever the kriya they tell you in, or parihars or lal kitab, whatever is there, see the background meaning behind it. You will know what I'm talking about. But coming back to this mystery, there's still a mystery as to how the moon affects our mood. We are talking about that. I don't want to go into other part of it because too much of a thing. Falthrani will say, he's talking too much, boring and all. And Jackie will send a message, I want to listen to what Deepa. Deepa.
Jackie sent a message, is it?
Jackie sent a message that I want to hear what Deepa is speaking. So, Deepa also wants to say something, and Jackie really wants to hear what she wants to say.
Sure. No worries.
I apologize to Jackie
bring
because
Deepa.
Jackie, I just wanted to say this because I don't want people to have the wrong notion about our culture. Eastern philosophy is very rich. We need to be mindful and we need to go research deeper into these things. Right?
Well, I also
Sure.
want I do want to mention before you drop, Vibha, with regard to the neurodiversity जो आपने बात किया, जो this scientific research जो ये Mr. Ware ने किया ना, तो he actually what he realized was you can't study it over a month for 18 different individuals. Just 18 different individuals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's got to be
Yes.
done because each individual is so unique and so different.
Yep.
And he said it has to be done. It's a longitudinal study of each individual and how their patterns are. And what he finally the deduction was that their rapid cycles that were happening, the dips, the manic and the depressive phases, were between 13.7 days to 14.8 days. That would happen. And it almost not almost always was with the phase of the moon. It was connected to the phase of the moon. What he did say also was, it is not that it is causative. It was there was a correlation, but there was not necessarily. It is, you can't say that it is a causation, that it's because of the moon this is happening, but it's happening across the board. And then they did that larger study where even in Switzerland there were researchers who actually researched this. They said it is interesting, it is complex, but we still it is a lot of research that needs to go into it. But they were able to discern that across the board during a full moon, human beings sleep at least 30% less, and that could affect your mood. Is what they said. You lose about 20 minutes of sleep because your mind is in a state of angst, restlessness. Is what they said, and that actually influences mood. That's how it influences moods of individuals supposedly. So but again they say, but one has no idea what exactly is the mechanism that's causing it. And when we talk about the moon's gravitational pull, we should not forget that there's that spring neap tide and there's also the declination tide. I don't know if you guys know. It's also
I'm
the
not
sun's
familiar with that.
No, that's the sun's gravitational pull also. The sun is also emitting it. Sun is not going away anywhere, right? When during the night, we think it's night. So the emissions that are coming out from the sun, the gravitational pull of the sun combined with the gravitational pull of the moon and their interaction of the emissions that are coming out of these two astral bodies, how it comes into our universe and breaks through our atmosphere also causes it, is what they suspect. So anyway, that's just
lots
my
of good
2 cents.
stuff. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you,
worries.
Baji.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you,
calling.
guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And we had some people trying our phone lines. We're going to be seeing if we can actually get them on. Faltwani?
Yeah.
What do you want to do? You want
Yeah,
to get
let's do that. Let's get them on. तो आप सुन रहे हैं Mystery Moon Days. If you want to put it just to play on words, but it's Mondays. we've actually, man has landed on the moon in, 60 something years ago, man landed on the moon. And then on the southern phase of the moon, where nobody else had gone, India sent out the Chandrayaan and to be able to explore what's on the other side of the moon where nobody else has been able to go. And they're doing research, they're excavating, they're trying to find, if it is habitable, and they're trying to find information from there, right? So, what we are discussing today is, while all this is going on, one might think that there are leaps made by mankind in terms of exploring outer space. How many people are actually exploring what is happening in the inner space and the effect of those outer space bodies on our internal mechanism? Because we really need to think about it, Banujan. Now more than ever in the United States, the rate of death by suicide amongst teenagers is the highest in our country. The rate of death by suicide is higher than those who die, in car accidents or, vehicular fatalities. So they're really, and mental health is a huge issue across the board. The United States government, the federal government, as well as the local state government, even in the state of California, there's a lot of funding being issued for mental health counselors to be made available in schools to everybody, and focus is on mental health. So if you are a student who is listening to this, you have a parent of a high schooler who is looking at options, psychology is going to go through the roof.
Through the roof.
Yeah,
oh my God.
The number of careers that are going to open up, there's so many, there's a huge need, and there's a huge need for psychologists who are also able to work with the neurodiverse population.
I'm very interested, Fathini, because you talk about number of carriers opening up, probably good food in that. And I hope it's vegetarian Indian make for sure. What?
Carriers?
Is the moon
I didn't say carriers. मेरी accent इतनी गंदी नहीं है. मैंने बोला careers.
जितना भी तेरा accent अंग्रेजी हो, मैं समझता हूँ हिंदी में यार.
अच्छा, बस.
हम हिंदुस्तानी.
बंधु कौन है? हेलो पैम पैम, कौन है जी?
कोई फोन कर रहे थे लेकिन उन्होंने फोन रख दिया था, तो मैं वापस कॉल कर रहा हूँ. वो उठा नहीं रहे अभी.
अच्छा,
हाँ, गुस्से में उठा नहीं रहे. आई थिंक इट दीपा जी कॉल कर रहे थे.
अच्छा, ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं, कोई बात
नहीं. कॉल पर नहीं उठा रहे हैं तो.
अच्छा, तो आई थिंक विशाल जी ने लिखा कि आर यू नॉट रीडिंग कमेंट्स ऑन यूट्यूब? I don't know.
Good point. I am also reading comments on YouTube. Let's see what are the YouTube comments. Jackie is saying she wants. I read Jackie's comment. Completely agrees with what Vishalji said. What was somebody else? Vishalji, moon is influence mind. Something she said. He said, moon influences mind. Moon is born out of the mind of God. Chandrama.
Is he the one who's
so
calling?
Jata. He's not the one calling. It was actually somebody else right now. Namaskar. आपका हार्दिक स्वागत है पैम पैम में.
हेलो.
हाँ दीपा जी कैसे हैं?
फालतू बाबा फालतू रानी पैम पैम. अरे मैं फिर से आ गई मूड बनाने के लिए.
हाँ, अच्छा, बाद में मेरे को 2-3 लोग बोल रहे हैं कि आपको बात करना छोड़ना चाहिए. जाकी बोल रहे हैं कि let दीपा speak, let फालतू रानी speak, and then विशाल जी बोल रहे हैं हेलो जाकी, वो सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं. हाँ, जाकी इज लेट दीपा शी स्पीक इज एडिटेटिंग बोल रहे हैं, तो प्लीज आप कंटिन्यू करें.
ओह माय गॉड. या मैंने उसी के लिए कॉल किया. हाय जाकी, हाउ आर यू?
या
वेल या.
हाँ,
सो लाइक व्हाट द मून की बातें हो रही है, एंड अगेन लाइक इट्स ऑल अबाउट मून टुडे, मिस्ट्री मून डे. So I kind of, so what I was trying to say is astrology is not all myth and everything. Although I know the thing, you or many people think that it's all BS, because of the reason many people deceive other innocent people who approach them. ऐसा भी हुआ है, ऐसा होता आया है और हो रहा है अभी भी. But that doesn't change the fact that it is all scientifically based. And like, for example, like when they calculate the Hindu calendar tithi and everything, even the if you go back and see the eclipses, they tell exactly this time hota hai, that it is accurate. Okay, and eclipses jab hote hain, and even that time radiation and all those things affect human body and all the beings. not just human beings.
That's
So based on that, and and it is the moon, the placement of the all the planets in the birth chart is what they call, is based on the time at the time of the birth, and then how they affect
okay.
later on. So it is all related. It is not just about the moon. I mean, in that particular birth chart is what I am saying. So again, I come back to the moon thing, and it is definitely very much associated with the human body, with amount of water we have and everything. It all अभी फालतू रानी ने जो explain किया, even the sun. So it's everything works in tandem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alto, क्यों कुछ नहीं बोल रहा है? Deepa, you're not watching YouTube, are you watching or no?
मैं देखूंगी, मैं बाद में देखूंगी. आल्तो बाबा सच्ची में, आल्तो बाबा का ये ना मुझे ये बहुत गुस्सा आता है. आल्तो बाबा आई गेट, अभी मैं इंग्लिश में क्यों बात कर रही हूँ, जैकी को समझ में आए. I get very angry because when he is talking, we have to listen. We all have to keep quiet and करके एक जगह बैठ के सुनना चाहिए. But when we talk, either he will be making faces or doing some emoji or doing this or that. आलतू बाबा, अपने बाबागिरी थोड़ा कम करो.
Deepa, you should see what he's done.
मैं देखूंगी.
Okay.
आलतू बाबा, did you listen to what I said?
Alto! निकालो.
The reason is they said you don't have to talk, so he's acting. वो कहाँ चुप बैठेगा, अभी चुप बैठने वाला तो नहीं है वो.
प्लास्टर लगा के बैठा है मुंह पे. Well, the show is not about astrology, Deepa. It's more about.
नहीं, show is not about astrology. वो मुझे भी पता है.
हाँ.
But moon plays an important role in there also, is what I'm trying to say. So
Yeah,
how
but
mental health? No. How mental health and full moon affects you, and that is one of the very common solutions. Is
so
given
are you
even
saying
when there are people who fall sick during full moon, like my mother. I mean, many of the I know many people whom I know, like even in our relation, and कुछ चीजें like some pujas are done on the full moon day. All this is connected, interconnected.
But Deepa, are you done talking?
Oh God.
हाँ, अभी मैं done talking, अभी मैं dance करूँगी.
No, dance karo. I wanted to make sure you get your point across because Jackie was specifically telling me that I want to hear what she's saying. I want to listen to her.
हाँ.
And of course, Vishal is supporting also big time.
Thank you, Jackie. कोई तो मेरी बात सुन रहा है.
हाँ, but one thing is that Vibha didn't say a word about you, huh?
Oh God, what Vibha?
Yeah.
And she said like as though somebody else did invite you to the group.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
राघवेंद्र.
Exactly my point.
अभी मिस्ट्री की बात हो रही है, ये कुछ और हो रहा है.
नहीं आप लोगों का मिस्ट्री नहीं है, मुझे मालूम है सब कुछ. आप लोग इंटरनल वॉरफेयर मुझे मालूम है चल रहा.
सर्वांतर्यामी हो ना.
सर्वांतर्यामी नहीं, मैं तो दीपांतर्यामी हूँ.
कुछ भी.
I know exactly what you feel, Deepa. I know exactly what you feel.
अच्छा.
But
अच्छा,
Deepa,
मेरी बात सुनी. अच्छा, I'm okay. I know Jackie listened to me and others. Did you listen to me?
Oh, of course, yes. Of course. आपको हम.
कुछ भी.
मैं आपका पूरा बात सुना ना.
So एक और चीज़ है जो ये जो वेर साहब है जिन्होंने ये the reason I'm quoting this experiment in this particular study is only because of the fact that this is a scientific, it's come out in a scientific journal. So in this he actually talks about how he believes that it's not just the light, that the moonlight, that's the reason people can't sleep and all that. He says it has something to do with the Earth's magnetic field and the other magnetic. That's what I've been talking about all this while, right? Where it's and he believes that we have what do you call that? We also have magnetic. What do you call that, man? The is it called magnetic poles?
हम कुछ लोगों में
Yeah, north and south. वही ना फालतू नहीं. हम लोग beginning में बोल रहे थे ना. See, all those forces like they work in tandem and like gravity and magnetic pole
Yeah.
All these things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has because our blood has a lot of iron. That is the reason. And
It's like a
again,
ball.
blood
It's
has
like a
water.
ball of spaghetti, correct?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Spaghetti ball.
How?
Spaghetti ball. Everything is connected, no?
No man, it's like, think about it, the oceans also,
खाने
the
के
water,
अलावा कुछ और सोचो आलतू बाबा.
the oceans are full of
Salt
salty
ball.
water.
Oceans full. Yes, correct. Salty
It's
water.
salty water, so that's why it conducts, right? They're the
Oh,
best
oh.
conductors.
Yep.
Yes.
They're electrically conducting
Are you
throughout.
saying that Rajinikanth was actual salt?
Hey!
He's a salt, by the way. Good one.
Oh my god.
आलतू बाबा.
Rajinikanth assault because
वही
he's a
ना, मुझे
conductor.
पता है तुम्हें बहुत आज बात करने का मन है क्योंकि एक हफ्ते से तुम आई नहीं ना शो पे.
नहीं
इसीलिए
नहीं
रोज आया करो,
वो
रोज
खुंदस
अपना-
निकाल दिया मेरे सैटरडे को, आप नहीं आए.
हाँ. Oh my god, कितना बात किया, मेरे को लोग बोल रहे हैं, मैंने जाके नहीं देखा. Luckily, I was
शो
busy
बहुत फेमस हो गया
outside.
because people are like listening to the talk.
ये
and like, आपको
आलतू
ना-
झगड़ा कर रहा था apparently, मेरे को मालूम नहीं.
हाँ.
He was like involved in
वो
a heavy.
हमेशा-
You're
हाँ,
100%
झगड़ा करता है वो.
Faltrani, you're 100% media Faltrani. Seriously.
Why man?
बड़ा चढ़ा के बोलना कोई तुझसे सीखे. हैं? कोई ऐसा आग बिन आग हवा देना आपसे कोई सीखे.
Anyway, but one thing is, we all know that apparently whenever there's this क्या कहते हैं वो solar flares होते हैं, coronal mass ejections होते हैं ना from the sun. Typically, there is scientific data. I mean, it has to prove that there has been there are increased rates in heart attacks, in strokes, in seizures, this activity during this time supposedly. Huh?
डर तो लगेगा ना.
तो it's invisible man, it's invisible. डर तो लगेगा, कोई ऐसा नहीं है ब्रह्मास बाण आ रहे हैं तेरे ऊपर, हाँ मेरे को हार्ट अटैक आ गया, ऐसा नहीं है, डर तो लगेगा अजीब. तो
God. तुम्हें डर लगता है तो अभी तो बोल रहे थे तुम्हें डर नहीं लगता, कुछ नहीं होता.
अरे मुझे डर लगता है आपसे, सीरियसली.
नहीं, it's invisible man, Earth's magnetic field. हम तो तुम्हारे
हाँ दीपक इनविजिबल है ना.
अय्या.
कहाँ आती है?
Oh God.
वहाँ बैठ के चलाती है.
He can drive. You know how to drive, right?
Who I should know how to drive?
Yeah, he drives you nuts, no Deepa, every single time.
That's all he knows, huh?
Yeah, exactly. No, he knows one more. He'll drive you up the wall. So annoying sometimes. Oh
अभी
God.
आलतू बाबा एक काम करो, तुम फुल मून के दिन तुम कैसे रिएक्ट करते हो वो अपने आप रिकॉर्ड करो.
ठीक है, रिकॉर्ड करूंगा जो आप बोल रहे.
ये वो please Deepa, he cannot get any more self-absorbed than he already is. Please don't ask him to do this, please. So please, so anyway, this was the mystery that we were trying to unravel, and nobody knows still, and nobody has been able to figure out why exactly this is being caused. Why, Altu Baba? You tell me. You're a psychologist. You should know.
Why will a psychologist know the answer to those things?
Why?
I am.
पढ़ाई की ना इसीलिए.
If you say I am actually I'm a person who is a constant learner. Okay, understandable. I keep learning. I keep understanding more about it. It's very fascinating to me. I'm 100% brahmachari. I'm a follower of the Brahma, the universe. I try to follow the universe as much as possible. All I can tell you is whatever is happening is happening, but we don't know why it's happening. Now the point is we should actually have that mindset to actually always be humble. To know that we don't know everything.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Like I can't be like Deepa saying, I know this for sure. This is mathematically proven. I can't say. What?
कुछ भी.
मैंने क्या किया?
Seriously.
Hello, what Deepa?
मैंने कब ऐसा बोला?
हाँ,
तू
2 मिनट
मुझे
पहले.
बदनाम मत करो, हाँ आलतू
There's
बाबा.
written proof. There's comment लगाओ क्या स्क्रीन पे? हाँ लगाओ
क्या
स्क्रीन पे.
comment?
आपका comment. The good thing about technology is I can have evidence of this.
Hey, but I do want to tell you this. Like they say birds, bees, they say don't put up these cell phone towers. It's going to cause the death of, there's been a lot of cases, right, where birds are just dropping dead from the sky. And then if the bee population decreases, mankind will come to, it'll cease, right? We won't be able to. There's a reason because they say that there is a certain magnetic field and a sense of magnetic sense that all all living beings are equipped with, apparently. And there was some talk that human beings don't have that, but it's actually not true, right? We are supposed to have that magnetic sense within ourselves
We
as
do
well.
have, it's just that our wavelength and okay, कुछ रहता है ना, it's like little higher. That's why like in one or the other day it will affect us also. That's why they say all these radiations.
Yeah, Deepa, I was talking about
radiations.
Correct.
बहुत है.
Now I'm going to make sure that you can actually see this. There's a statement which you made there. It's not our perspective. Properly calculated.
हाँ, तो that doesn't mean I said I know everything. कुछ भी. I only talked about that particular instance.
Oh my God.
Okay, Deepa ji, fine. Whatever happens, we love you, right? Simple. खत्म.
चाबी हाँ ऐसे करके मुझे चुप करा देते हैं.
क्या सच तो बात है यार, come on. मतलब
नहीं,
सच्चाई
तुम
भी.
लोग मेरी बात सुनो, मैं बता रही हूँ कुछ.
हाँ, बता मेरी बात, तू बता.
तो ये जो मैग्नेटिक सेंस के बारे में बात कर रहे थे, that human beings don't have it. Apparently there was another research study done which actually where people were exposed to magnetic field changes equivalent to those that we experience as we move around our local environments. Okay?
Well, actually ये scientifically proven है, because scientifically evidently proven है, because फाल्तोनी has that thing. वो कभी कभार अपना हाथ ऐसे रखती है, मैं जाके उसका हाथ को मार के आता हूँ. That's what she told by. See, that's exactly. Attraction towards our open palm. Open palm. पटाख मार देती है. नहीं मैं हाथ ऐसे रखी थी, वो भाग के आ गया.
तो अभी तो तुम्हें एक मेडल या फिर कुछ अवार्ड देना तो बनता है यार.
Yes, फाल्तोनी बनता है.
Yeah, seriously.
Banta
Seriously, Deepa. Okay, but let me tell you, apparently in these people who are exposed to this magnetic field changes, in their local environments itself, they're not gone anything out, they just introduced some new magnetic field change. They actually saw that there is they were experiencing strong decreases in something called alpha brain wave activity. Now, Altu, you're yawning? Rascal. चलो ठीक है, मैं ना बहुत खुश हूँ.
नहीं अल्फा ब्रेन वेव एक्टिविटी.
कुछ नहीं बोलना है.
नहीं अल्फा.
उसका ब्रेन एक्टिविटी कम हो रहा है इसीलिए यॉन कर रहे हो.
हाँ.
मेरा अल्फा ब्रेन एक्टिव हो गया.
उसका अल्फा ब्रेन.
मेरा अल्फा ब्रेन एक्टिवेट हो गया.
नहीं देखो उसका ये अल्फा ब्रेन वेव एक्टिविटी तब होता है
when people are loners.
Yeah, when they are awake but they're not doing anything.
When they awakened.
No bullshit.
So when you don't have alpha brain activity, you'll attract people around you.
जो निठल्ले होते हैं, जो basically don't have anything to do, वेले लोग.
निठल्ले, हाँ, वेले लोग, वो alpha brain होते हैं. उनका alpha brain होता है.
जो लोग अल्फा में जैसा ईगो रखते हैं ना, उनको तो ज्यादा अफेक्ट करता है वो.
हाँ, मुझे अफेक्ट करे. मैं अल्फा हूँ, वो अलग बात है. वो एक्चुअली मैं बीटा हूँ, अल्फा नहीं हूँ. But anyways, मैं बेटा हूँ ना किसी का.
Anyway, so that they say the significance of these changes, and they've actually been able to map brain activity. They say when you're exposed to different types of magnetic fields and radiation, your brain alpha brain activity reduces or increases. It depends, and they're not able to tell exactly how it's affecting mood and behavior, but it is definitely working on the brain chemistry. Is what they say. So apparently this theory is what is appealing to a lot of scientists.
Are you saying brain का mystery or brain mystery? क्या?
Brain chemistry.
Brain chemistry. तो बाबा साइंस पढ़ा नहीं है क्या स्कूल में?
नहीं, स्कूल में पढ़ा था of course, तो पढ़ाई नहीं की.
Oh my God. Anyway, so this chemistry जो होता है in fruit flies, they studied it and they found out that there's this enzyme called cryptochrome. Cryptochrome, which actually is a magnetic sensor, and this cryptochrome is actually a key component of the molecular clocks of the that determines your circadian rhythm.
That's very true. In fact, the same thing happens in Kal-El also actually.
Huh?
Yeah.
Happens with?
Kal-El.
What is Kal-El?
Kal-El, the guy who came from other planet.
Who's that?
Superman, we call him, right? Kryptonite. Draws all his energy off.
Abbe, it's not kryptonite, it's cryptochrome. Abba.
Same difference.
Okay, I apologize, Bandhujan. I'm sorry. There's somebody who's got to like totally derail our show, forget debunk any theory. That is our Altu Baba. So, Deepa ji, I hope this...
enlightened you, Deepa ji.
This, it would have been a very entertaining show because she'd have been like, what the heck? You were arguing with Altu Baba half the time.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Sorry, Deepa ji. Deepa ji, I'm sorry you could not get your dose of knowledge today.
Ah,
That's what he's
Yeah,
saying.
what?
dose of knowledge.
Uh-huh.
अरे बाप रे.
अच्छा अभी मैं देखो आज तो बाबा मैंने मुझे जो बता रहा था मैंने बता दिया और ज्यादा आगे का किस्सा मैं तुम्हें सुनाऊंगी जब मैं मिलूंगी ठीक है
हाँ आप
Please,
तो
दीपा,
जब भी
सुनाना.
हमें मिलते हो आप सुनाते रहते हो ना तो सुनाइए.
हाँ
नहीं जब
I keep
तुमसे
telling
मिलते हैं
you.
वो सुनाती नहीं है. एक दिन थोड़ा सुनाने का सेशन होना
हाँ.
चाहिए. हाँ.
एग्जैक्टली
हाँ.
वही ना
Sure.
हाँ
हाँ.
तुम इतने हाथ कहाँ लगते हो तुम सुनते ही नहीं कुछ किसी की बात
हाथ किसी के लगी लगता है अजीब. हाथ तेल लगा के घूमता है ना इसी वास्ते. राइट आलतू. So
Okay,
anyway, that
chalo.
was Mystery Moon Days. We hope you enjoyed the show, Banjan. We still are not sure as to what actually causes it, but definitely there is some sort of connection between what's happening. Some people say that it's the net loss of a water molecule from the human cell. People were saying that happens because of certain enzymes within the brain, and you know they studied it in single plant cells कि वो कैसे होता है with the different phases of the moon, how the water level within that molecule changes. And then the volume of water molecules, even if it is in the nano range, will generally to any gravitational change supposedly respond. Even in the nano range, the water molecule responds. So, as a consequence, the movement of water molecules through different water channels, meaning water will move from one cell inside the cell towards the outer vessels and vice versa. So, that's another way that they're saying. There is another theory that says that is due to the gravitational force.
Yeah,
What is that?
I agree with you. So when there's full moon, drink lots of water to stay grounded.
Well, actually, you should drink lots of water. That's actually true. People do say that you should drink water.
People say that.
Yeah.
I inferred it.
Oh God. Why?
हमारे बैकग्राउंड में सैटेलाइट ऑलरेडी है. मून इज सैटेलाइट. दीपा, what are you talking about?
Well, let's just tell you, Badajan. One of the things is that there is a study that was conducted in plants, and if it can affect plant molecules, and this was if plant cells are so sensitive to tidal forces, then the scientist, his name is Fisan, he says there's no reason why human cells cannot be as well. So although the mechanism as to how this is happening is still elusive, people haven't been able to figure out what exactly is going on, and psychiatrists are doling out medication after medication to externally treat it's like putting a band-aid on what do you call
An
internal wound, right? So I think the most important thing is, I mean, this is altu faltu gnan, okay? Like Altu suggested, and it's to be in sync and as close to the universe as possible, and that way you center yourself as much as possible. And I think that's what even Sadhguru says.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think that's what he's saying. He's saying make what is your innate quality, center yourself to that innate quality. If you practice, what is that? You had a video that you show in your ally support workshop. You
being
practice.
development oriented.
Yeah, there is, what is that? You practice. Are you practicing anger? Do you get angry very often?
Anger. Oh, it's a British guy,
That's
right?
what that
Kiddo?
kid says.
If you're practicing anger,
Yeah.
you'll become good at anger.
You become good at what you practice.
If you practice to being Altu Baba, you'll become Altu Baba.
No, thank you. Never. Never. Thank you. So, the most important thing is to try to be mindful of
Okay.
the changes that are happening to us
But
and those around us.
The reason behind why we make the mystery shows is because to show you that there's mystery in the world. And if you ever feel like, oh my God, what am I going to do? No, don't scroll on the Facebook. No, go research.
Yeah.
Use the information superhighway internet for good use. Put it to good use. Analyze. What's very important, what's lacking in this world right now is critical thinking. We all fall into dogma very easily because
Correct.
we don't use our critical thinking mind. Hindu philosophy or the Sanatana Dharma is all about how you can start thinking critically. Right? You got to make sure you can challenge the thought. Agree to the fact that probably whatever thought you're putting across probably is not right? And seeing how we can go down and do an introspection and find out the truths for all these mysteries we share with you guys on air. इसी के साथ ब्रजन हमारा आज का कार्यक्रम यहीं पे समाप्त होने वाला है. Meaning with this we're going to be ending our show today.
We'll be back tomorrow with some takedowns, big time takedowns. Binajan, don't forget to tune in then. Hame ijazat dijiye. Good night, Shabba khair, and have a happy moon day.
You are listening to Radio D Hotties, powered by Mahima Creations.
Hi guys, this is Shraddha and you're listening to Radio D Hottie, where the entertainment gets hotter.